like talking about all the volume you're doing is going to be very taxing on the nervous system. Gut bacteria has a direct connection to your brain, affects how your brain functions. Brain is your nervous system center. So
people are not going to believe that your gut could be connected to your brain.
That's what they call the second brain. That's the first brain.
They call it the second brain, and people that work on gut microbiome call it the first brain.
Yeah,
because that's where the signals start.
And that's where we developed that first before we had a brain. Like,
and if
your animals had it, right?
Boom, and that's that symbiotic relationship with the good gut bacteria.
More gut bacteria, more bacterial cells in your body than human cells.
That is a mind blower. There's more cells that are not you in you than you. And they die if you die, and you die if they die. All right? Plus, if you feed them good shit, they feed you good hormones and neurotransmitters. And if you feed them shit, what I'm saying is, if you have anxiety and depression and you're eating shit, you're not moving, maybe you should start there before you start popping pills.
Yeah.
The Bridge Podcast, back again. Sean Nixon here.
Oh yeah, John Matthew.
How you doing, man?
Things are good. It's been warm weather, man. It was 60 degrees out yesterday.
It's bananas. Are we done with the snow or no?
There's supposed to be snow like next Tuesday, but I'm not buying it.
Oh boy.
I don't trust the weather satellites.
The hell of a winter. I don't trust nobody.
I'll just watch the birds. They know what's up.
Yeah, right? They're not going to lie to nobody.
They know what's up.
They're not going to lie to nobody.
I saw some really... do you know a lot about birds?
I know
decent bit.
Birds.
Because like the other day, because I live right by the Carnegie Lake,
yeah.
And so I see like
you see more seabirds. I know something's up.
Yeah, I saw some crazy types of mallards coming up, like the crazy crescent kinds.
I love that shit.
But they were only there for like a week and they're gone because they're some migrating back wherever. But I think like somewhere down near Cape May, like I used to have a client who was a bird or a nature photographer.
Wow.
I used to go down there every like November, and he would see literally like every single rare bird you can ever see. Yep. But they're only there for like that, and they go up.
Then they leave. Yeah, dude, I love waterfowl. Waterfowl and birds of prey.
Waterfowl.
Birds of prey too, though.
Birds of prey.
Like you've seen at that same place. You're talking
eagles,
about the bald
hawks,
eagles, though.
Bald eagles, yeah.
Well, hawks are all over the place.
All the place.
But, bald eagles, that's some fucking.
That's it. But yeah, we both saw the two flying over that one time.
What? No coincidence.
Ah.
So we're back with Joey Bag of Donuts. All right, we've already talked to him. He's got his mindset ready. He's fucking got his headphones charged up. He's got his shopping list. He's got everything. So today we're going to break down his workout routine here, his programming, and we're going to run through a meal. So back in the gym, all right? So we're building up Joey in what is called a push-pull legs split, PPL. The kids love it, right? It's as hot as TikTok right now, push-pull legs. The kids love it. It's interesting because you can run it 3 days on, 1 day off, so you're still getting 2 rest days every 8, which is not bad.
There's a lot of. I think another reason that I like it at least is because it allows for a decent bit of flexibility, not with just like,
instead of Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
but also because we'll get into the details of it later, but it allows you to have some variety without sacrificing. You know what we're trying to get some gains here.
Spice and variety. Enough frequency to recovery ratio.
That's huge. Yeah.
Huge. All right. So it's called push-pull legs because it just sounds nice, but we're going to do it as lower body and then pull and then push. So what that means is abs and legs, any pulling muscle, so all your back and your biceps, and then pushing muscles, so like chest, shoulders, and triceps. And we're doing it in this specific order because his shoulder's a little banged up. Fucking Joey Gabagool's shoulder's a little smoked from playing baseball from when he was like 6 to 22.
That'll do it.
So, yeah, that'll do it. So we're not doing too much on shoulders. He also used to skip leg day because he was too cool for that because he was a young boy. and he still is. So therefore, ipso facto, we're starting him off with lower body day. So Monday, he's coming in fresh. And like I said, it doesn't have to be Monday. It's going to be day 1, day 2, day 3, then rest, and then repeat, and rest, and repeat. But we're starting with legs right off the bat, okay? So he's got his nice little funky warm-up where he's getting some high rep stuff, some core stuff. We'll film videos on warm-up and stuff like that. But he's going right into squats. So basically, if you got day 1 of lower body and then the second lower body, we're going to have different variations. So the first day is going to be a barbell back squat. The next time leg day circles around, it's going to be a barbell front squat.
Yeah.
There's plenty of differences. Maybe we'll do another video on that. But like basically,
so yeah, this is technically like an 8-day split, really, because there's 6 different workouts within
and 2
8
rest
days.
within 8 days.
Yeah.
So it's still getting the proper frequency.
And we're still getting 2 squat movements, and we're going to go through the rest of these here. But
Beautiful. So we're doing 5 sets of 5. So it's not super, not heavy singles, doubles, and triples, but not super crazy reps.
Yep.
Super crazy high reps. So with the squats, we're getting 5 sets of 5. This is kind of like the best of all worlds as far as strength, muscle, power. Not too much power, but definitely strength and building muscle, which is what we're trying to do. And like I said, the first day is a back squat, second day is a front squat, and those rotate just for variety's sake, so we don't get stale, so we're not wearing out movement patterns and joints, but we're still hitting the muscles, like you said, frequently enough. Then we're going into a deadlift movement, so we do conventional one day and sumo one day. So basically conventional is a closer stance with the hands on the outside of the legs. Sumo is a super wide stance with the hands on the inside of the legs, targeting different muscles pretty much, or emphasizing and biasing different muscles.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go to, and that's 5 sets of 3. So once again, not heavy singles like a power lifter, not 15 reps bouncing it off the ground with a fucking round back looking like my dog taking a shit on the front lawn, but 5 sets of 3, so just causing enough stimulus for growth. Then we go into a single leg or a unilateral variation. So we'll do like a walking lunges on the first day and a rear foot elevated Bulgarian split squat on the other day. Any split squat variation, any single leg variation. But that's going to be 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. So really pumping up the reps there because we've already gone heavy.
Yeah. So yeah, you wouldn't want to, so just like for your back squat and deadlift, right, your main lift, that's probably not, there's a time and place for sure, but someplace you were, especially for him, we're trying to get size, mass, and strength too. We don't want to go high volume on those guys, right? Because if you went 5 by 12 on the back squat and then like even higher than, not too high, like 6 reps on the deadlift, that'd be dead, be fried. And the strength gains we would get.
And you're not moving the needle on strength too much.
Because we're trying to pair, what you'll see too is pair strength with hypertrophy in the same workout.
Boom.
Because they're going to feed off each other.
They feed off each other. I was just about to say, I was going to say not to call it like a power building program, but they feed off each other. Because when the strength goes up, a stronger muscle can be a bigger muscle, right? And a bigger muscle can be a stronger muscle. So when you work through phases like that, potential, all right? So then, and then real quick, rest periods. If you're doing a heavy set of 1 to 5 or 3 to 5, you're looking at 3 to 5 minutes rest. Let's call it 3 minutes. Yeah. At least 2.
At least 2.
But you're only going 1 to 2 minutes rest when we're doing 10 to 12 reps because we want to keep everything.
Yeah, that matters a lot. And that's an area I see, people just neglect entirely, or there's no rhyme and reason to their rest periods.
And it's so funny, the extremes
either too long
on that,
or
where
like
people, as soon as
10
they
minutes
take one
walking
breath, they take one breath and they go again, and it's 10-second rest. And you're like, what the fuck? Or you're scrolling and pill popping and scrolling for 15 minutes, talking to everybody.
Have like a 2 hour. Was in the gym for 2 hours, man. Worked out for 30 minutes.
Yeah, we've seen that.
We've
seen it. So now we're moving on to a leg press. We'll do the leg press to pump up some extra leg volume because you can get a lot of weight on there and high reps because since you're seated, it takes away the stability aspect of like a squat or a deadlift. Yeah. So you can just pack on more load, but still pump the reps up to, we got 4 sets of 10 to 12, probably pyramiding up lighter weights to heavier weights as we go.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is we'll just have the legs lower to emphasize more knee flexion and quads, and then we could have the legs higher and perhaps wider to emphasize more hips and butts and hamstrings. Okay, so those will be the variations. Because you're going to do different amount of weight on those two.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Then we're going to end each leg day with a leg curl, leg extension superset. So this is our only machine work and our only isolation work. For variety's sake, you could do start with one day and start with the other day, but that's just a nice pumpy 3 by 10 to 12 with super short rest.
Yeah, and you got most people when they're starting do the seated leg curl, but you also have your lying leg curl, which is
great point.
Different.
Very different, yeah, for sure. So a seated
hips
leg
and flexion
curl,
and hips and extension, so
which is going to give you more stretch, exactly. So when you're lying on your stomach, you're going to fully shorten the hamstring and squeeze it. And when you're seated, if you lean forward a little bit, now the hips are in flexion, like you said.
Yep.
So in hip flexion and knee extension, the hamstrings are stretched the most. So basically, distal end, proximal end, lengthen position, shorten position. So we're hitting the best of all worlds is what that means. And then we got an ab exercise, a core exercise. Maybe we go 3 sets of 15 the first day to get it pumping. And then when we cycle back on the next one, maybe 3 sets of 5, weighted machine, weighted sit-up, something heavy. Because if everybody's going heavy 3 sets of 5 and then you figure you got to do 65 fucking sit-ups to get abs, doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, if you're why are you going heavy for every other your abs are still a muscle. And the abs I say is rectus abdominis is what I mean, which is different than your internal deeper core muscles and something that can be stimulated effectively by higher weight, which is something that you don't see very often.
I just love mixing rep ranges to begin with. You get all fiber types, and you stay physiologically and psychologically fresh, and you never get bored and stale. But point being is, add some weight to your sit-up once you can feel your abs and breathe correctly in your good position.
Not just using hip flexor.
Right. Don't be afraid to add weight to core movements. All right. So that's day 1 and 5, essentially.
Day 1 and 5, yes.
Then we're moving on to a pull day. Why pull next? Well, a couple reasons. We want to do more rowing and pulling and back action because he's trying to get bigger and you got more muscles and bigger muscles in the back. Secondly, like we said, that shoulder's all dinged up from fucking throwing for 12 years at least. And you don't really want to do back day the day before leg day because then you'll be fooked for squats and deadlifts.
Yeah, good luck with that.
All right? Yeah, good luck with that. You want a lower back pump before you go to the gym? Not a good idea. You don't want to fry your stabilizers before your main movers. Let's just fucking put it that way. So pull day, we're going to start with, so Joey's a fucking athlete and he's a little skinny boy, right? So he can do, say, 15 pull-ups. So we're going to go with a warm-up set of pull-ups, but then we're going to go right into weighted pull-ups, all right? So one day he's going to do pull-ups, which is a pronated grip, a little wider, meaning overhand or palms facing away from you. And then you have a chin-up, which is maybe a little closer, definitely palms up or palms facing you, or a supinated grip. And then we'll just go 3 sets of 5, progressing the weight as we go. All right? Then the second exercise is we're going to go with either a barbell row or a T-bar row, 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps. So this is our main mover vertical, our main mover horizontal. Then back to a vertical pull with some lat pull downs. All right, I just call them pull downs because whether you bias the lats or not depends on your elbow angle, right? But what we're going to do is one day is going to be a wide grip, one day it's going to be a close grip. You know, once again, supinated or neutral. Basically, I would do it the same way we're going to do for bench, meaning if you're doing a chin-up, then your lat pull-downs would be wide. And if you're doing a wide grip pull-up, your lat pull-downs will be close. Just one way to think of it. Not that one way is right or wrong. I just like it. All right? Then we're going to go to a low-seated cable row. Same thing, 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions. We already talked about like a rep range and what that's good for. Like if you can't get to 10 reps, the weight was too heavy. If you get to 12 and you could have done 5 more, the weight was too light. If you get to 10 and you're like, oh shit, 11 and 12 are going to be tough, and then you squeak out 11 and 12, and the 12th one was dead and you can only do 1 or 2 or 0 more, you done good. Right? That's what a rep range is about in a fucking nutshell. So same thing with the cable rows. One day we'll go close grip, one day we'll go wide grip, just to mix it up. Anytime you change hand position on a pull, you change your shoulder orientation, and you change the shoulder position, you change what muscles you're biasing and targeting on the back.
And just going back real quick, because I see this a lot with younger lifters, and it was something I did, and I see most people do, is not sticking to the rep range, right? Because, like, everybody wants to go heavy all the time, and, like, for one, at the cost of form usually, and at the cost of the program. There's a reason we wrote the program this way, and it's meant to be this way.
I love it. I'm glad you said that, because the plan is to keep the plan the plan. Once you go off the program, it's no longer the fucking program.
So, I can go heavier. Yeah, you could go heavier, but that's not lat pull down anymore.
Again, we're not going from A to B. Nobody's getting a fucking award or a sticker or a blowjob for fucking doing the whole stack with shitty fucking form. What we're trying to do is keep tension on the working muscle. All right? So any exercise, and we'll do a whole video on this, maybe podcast. You have to set up and make sure you're in good posture, no matter what it is, machine, free weight, whatever. Then you have to stabilize, meaning squeeze everything that you don't want to move. Then you want to initiate with the working muscle. The set is over when you have to use other muscles to fucking get to A to B.
Yeah, it's not about the movement, it's about the muscle.
Boom. And when we're doing athletic programming that we'll get to, now it's about the movement.
Different.
And you want to feel the proper muscles, but we're not like totally conscious of the muscle lengthening and shortening the whole time. Here we are. It's about the muscle.
Because you could do, like, say, on a barbell row, right? I could do 135. For 10, I feel tons of tension. I'm good throughout.
It's a perfect example.
And I can go 185, and I get a little bit of cheat in the swing, and I've gotten 50 more pounds, but I'm keeping maybe like 50% less tension on there. So the amount of work you actually did, if we were to calculate that mathematically, is probably like 30 to 40% less.
I think if you're, and I couldn't agree more, and I think if you're a power lifter and you want to fucking go from a dead stop and use momentum and swing and just do more weight, that's great for performance. But if we're bodybuilding or hypertrophy, trying to build muscle, fuck the weight. Who cares about the weight? As long as it goes up over time. The most important thing is keeping the tension, I was going to say emphasis, but tension on the working muscle.
And then even for performance, I would still train tension, and then
in the beginning,
and then practice the technique of not cheating, but practice the technique of using your whole body to lift a weight.
English, yep.
But then say, like, it's like you don't want to use your nitrous in the first part of the race, right? So like, save, if you're performing, especially a powerlifter, save your your nitrous before getting over the bridge.
Yes.
Need for Speed Underground too.
Shoot the gap. I love it. But I like what you said. There's a technique to cheating, you said, while using your whole body. So we're not throwing it with momentum and catching it.
Yeah.
We're using body English to swing it and keep tension on the muscle. Big difference.
English. Yeah.
Big difference. All right. Where are we at? So then what we'll do is when we want to add extra volume, instead of adding sets and reps, we'll add a single arm row. Could be a cable, could be a machine, could be a dumbbell.
Yep.
Dumbbell rows will fuck you up. All right, same thing, like 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 12 reps. Then we're going to end pull day with some bicepius peaks.
Everybody's favorite.
So one day we'll go maybe 5 to 8 reps on a barbell curl, heavy as shit. And then we'll go the next day with a hammer curl where palms are facing each other, or a neutral grip, where you can get a little brachialis and radial brachialis and still biceps. And then we're covering all our bases on biceps there. All right, so pull day, day 2 and 6 in the books. All right. Now we're moving on to push.
Everybody's favorite day.
Everybody's favorite day. You can call it chest, shoulders, and triceps. All right, so we're going to start off with a bench press. All right, at 5 sets of 5. So you can see the theme is we're starting with heavy 5s because it's the best of all worlds of strength and building muscle. And then we're going to progress to some higher reps. So if we start the day with a flat barbell bench press, then the next time we'll go with an incline bench press. Therefore, our second movement, the dumbbell chest press, if we did flat barbell bench, we'll do incline dumbbell bench.
Just keep them balancing out the workout.
And vice versa. All right. If we started with an incline barbell bench, we'll do flat or decline, but whatever. We'll call it flat with dumbbells. All right. Because the chest, you got clavicular fibers, which is the upper chest, where
shelf action.
The arm is coming up. You got sternal fibers where the arm is coming across, and you got costal fibers where the arm is coming down like a dip or something like that. Speaking of dips, that's our next exercise. Joey Bag of Donuts can do fucking like 20 because he's a skinny guy and his form is good, so we're going right to weighted dips.
Weighted. One of my favorite exercises.
Oh, if you're not doing weighted dips for chest, that's a top 3 tricep and a top 3 chest.
Yeah.
So that's definitely 2 birds, 1 stone right there. Because it's full pec development plus full tricep development.
Yeah.
You get a good stretch and a good squeeze, an athletic movement, a loadable movement. Like it checks all the boxes.
Yep.
Shoulder health,
a lot more
stabilization
extension necessary.
So
serratus action going on.
Come on, baby. Yeah. All these birds, 1 fucking stone. We're just smashing.
Nests being obliterated.
And if you either get bored of them or want variety, we'll go with a floor press because it's a similar thing. You're just laying on your back and letting the floor guide your elbows to overload the triceps. Still a bunch of chest, instead of facing down and pushing on the dips. All right. Always start with 1 set of body weight. Kind of don't really care the rep range. Just feel it out yourself.
Yeah.
But then we're going with 3 sets of, let's call it 5 to 8 reps for a range, because that we want to progress in load, in
Yeah.
how much weight is on the dip chain, the belt. So then we're moving to a little bit of shoulders. We only have 2 shoulder exercises.
It's Joey again. We're not trying to overload the front
He's got
delt
some
here.
weird stuff with the delt. So he's got a dumbbell shoulder press that we could also substitute for a landmine shoulder press. All right, maybe kneeling, maybe standing, maybe whatever. But point being is we're not locking him into a machine or a barbell. We want that freedom of the shoulder girdle to move around because we don't want the rotator cuff doing any weird shit.
Yeah, and dumbbell is a lot easier to maintain a kind of a more favorable angle on the shoulder than a barbell. Same thing, a landmine is the whole point of
Favorable angle for your body and your shoulder
yes,
stuff because everybody's different. That's why machines and barbells is what it is, and we're not cookie cutters. We're fucking snowflakes here. All right. So the only thing we didn't put in is a lateral raise, which maybe he can superset and just do shoulders all together or something like that. Because the next exercise we're finishing off the chest with some high rep flies. All right. So we got 3 sets of, now we're moving that repetition range to 12 to 15. So once again, we've hit the low reps heavy weight, medium reps medium weight. And now we got higher reps, lighter weight just as a finisher. One day he's doing a cable fly, which based upon how far you walk out from the cable will overload the squeeze or the shortened position. And then the other day he's going to do a dumbbell fly, which is going to be almost nothing at the top, but really overload that stretched or lengthened position, which tension on a muscle is how you're going to get more muscles. All right? Muscles? Food, water, and rest.
For sure.
You already know that. Then we're going to finish off with triceps, 3 to 4 sets, because we want plenty of tricep volume of 10 to 12 reps. Just an extension or a push down one day, and then something overhead the other day for the same exact reason, to work
long head, short head.
Long head, short head, lengthen position, shorten position.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. He could superset those and do them every time and just change handles, or he could do one day, one the other day. All right? So let's start cooking here, literally. So the first couple weeks in the first phase, Joey is just trying to eat more and be aware of it. All right. So before, Maria was thought she was eating healthy, but what she didn't know was how many calories she was eating. So all we did was become mindful of it, even though she was 90% healthy anyway, and start tracking.
Yep.
Joey thinks he's eating a lot because he's eating junk and it's filling him up, and he's fucking moving so much and he's busy and blah, blah, blah. So he thinks he's eating a lot, but he's not. So we're just telling him in the first week or 2, eat more. And he's going to try to get close to 3,000 calories, because then we're going to, same thing, become mindful and aware. We're going to track it. Next thing you know, then he comes to us, okay, I'm close to 3,000. Let's actually organize the macros, get some healthy substitutions. So we don't, because everything we wrote here is pretty much no supplements and 100% whole foods, to where you can tuna and ramen it if you want to go cheap, or you can fucking organic grass-fed beef it and whatever. But point being is, it's not like 90 scoops of powder and 19 protein bars and gels and capsules and shit. Exactly. So once he gets up to about 3,000 calories, we're going to go X amount of time until either the scale doesn't move, or more importantly, recovery slows down. How do we know recovery slows down? Maybe Joey's dick stops working. Maybe he can't sleep well. Maybe he's sore all the time. Or most importantly, the lifts stop going up in the gym. Once the lifts stop going up, then we know we need either a little more of an off day, maybe first, but definitely more calories. So once we get him to that 3,000, we're going to get him eventually to 3,500, and then eventually to 4,000. And I wouldn't really add more than 4,000 calories just for him, just for now, because like I said, you can reshuffle the deck, do a mini cut. Now that you have higher metabolism, better body fat percentage because you have more mass, and it'll be easier to push those calories again. So off the bat with the ratios, he wants to be about 170, so that's where we're pulling our 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day, because that's his goal, right? So 170 grams of protein. We got about 120 grams of fat, because you need plenty of healthy fats. He was probably under-eating fats in general, and he was definitely under-eating healthy fats, because he was getting trans fats from the fucking Taco Bell and whatever else. Club Taco. And then the key, like we said, and why are we not doing 400 grams of protein? Because, protein, you could pump. I have no problem going 2 grams per pound of body weight if you're cutting, Because if you just want to fill yourself up with protein and vegetables, go right ahead. But for bulking, what makes you bigger? It's a caloric surplus. Where do you want that surplus from? Carbs. Carbohydrates, okay? That is what makes mammals larger, all right? A caloric surplus from the insulin spike of carbohydrates, all right? So that's where we're pumping it up. Just enough protein to grow and recover. So not low protein, just hitting the minimum amount. Enough.
Yeah.
And then plenty of fats, because once again, there's a hormonal game, and we're pumping up the fats, and Joey's not going on the fucking sauce just yet.
Yeah.
He's not whacking D. That's what he came to us. He was like, dude, I go on D-ball right now. I'm like,
Joey,
all the fucking D-balls in the world is not going to help you with the Taco Bell.
Yeah, if you're eating 1,800 calories, putting D-ball, nothing's going to happen.
Not going to do shit. You're just going to have expensive piss again, and now a cranky liver.
Yeah, one thing people don't understand about performance, because I always hear people say, not that it doesn't help, but it's like, it's so easy to restore. It's like you just take it and it magically makes you bigger.
No.
It gives you the capacity to do more, so you got to be able to do more. Right? So it's like harder.
Yeah, if you can't eat, you're just wasting money in your liver at that point. Yeah, exactly. Right, good point. It is kind of harder.
Yeah, because you're really you're not going heavier in weight, you're going to have more volume.
More volume, and it's just helping recovery, so therefore you need to match it with food. They don't magically cut the fucking steak and boil the rice for you.
It's not like helium.
Right. No, not at all. This just helps you recover. So that's when we need to start. So that's why we got high-ish healthy fats, and we're going to start pumping up the carbs. All right. So we said. So once he starts, he's at about 300 carbs. The protein and the fats will kind of stay the same. So you can kind of see where this is different from Maria or a cutting. And instead of cutting away from the carbs, we're pumping up the carbs.
Check them up.
So he might get up to like 500 grams of carbohydrates per day. So this sample meal that we've written out is based upon 6 meals a day, or 5 in a bedtime shake if he needs it, and at least 4,000 calories, because he's already, this will be at least like phase 3 at this point.
Yeah, this is where we're getting to.
This is where we're getting to. All right, so meal 1 for Joey used to be fucking coffee with cream and sugar, or maybe a fucking bagel or something.
A donut, a bag of
donut, right. But now he's going to go with bacon and eggies, all right? So you got 4 eggs, 4 pieces of bacon, and avocado, all right? Then your sweet with your salty, your carbs with your proteins and fats is going to be a cup of oatmeal, a whole bunch of berries in this motherfucker, and then 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. So if you were eating oatmeal for cutting, maybe you go half a cup, 3/4 of a cup, and you would use some stevia or some monk fruit, so it's still sweetened, but you're not adding calories.
Tons of sugar,
Here, you want to sweeten it, but you do want to add calories. So not white table sugar, but organic maple syrup. So you get fucking some taste and a natural sugar, let's say. All right, so that's a big old breakfast, because when he wakes up, he's hungry, and he's got to fuel himself for the day for walking 90,000 steps.
Very active job.
Because he's active job and a lot of volume in the training. All right, so then at about 10 a.m., 10:15, whatever, they go on cigarette break, and Joey busts out second breakfast. All right. Second breakfast is key. Second dinner is for the real pros.
But
second
that's
breakfast,
next level,
next level is second dinner. All right, only the black belts can handle it. But second breakfast, if you're trying to get big, is super necessary. Okay, so Joey's going to bust out 2 cups of yogurt, which is now we're getting some more proteins, and most importantly, some probiotics. Okay, because if we're eating all this food and we don't have digestive enzymes, prebiotics, and probiotics,
gotta keep our gut.
Well, not only are we not going to be fucking shitting our pants, but you not only are what you eat, you are what you can digest and assimilate.
Very
okay, so digestion, assimilation, and elimination. All right, so if you're not pissing a certain amount of day, shitting a certain amount of day, sweating a certain amount of day, moving a certain amount of day,
it's all very necessary for you to survive.
For you to survive, just flushing the lymphatic system and the digestive system. So
and then
yogurt,
also, like talking about all the volume you're doing is going to be very taxing on the nervous system. Gut bacteria has a direct connection to your brain, affects how your brain functions. Brain is your nervous system center. So
people are not going to believe that your gut could be connected to your brain.
That's what they call it, the second brain. That's the first brain.
They call it the second brain, and people that work on gut microbiome call it the first brain.
Yeah,
because that's where the signals start,
and that's where we developed that first before we had a brain. Like,
and if
your animals had it, right?
Boom, and that's that symbiotic relationship with the good gut bacteria.
More gut bacteria, more bacterial cells in your body than human cells.
That is a mind blower. There's more cells that are not you in you than you, and they die if you die, and you die if they die, all right? Plus, if you feed them good shit, they feed you good hormones and neurotransmitters. And if you feed them shit, what I'm saying is, if you have anxiety and depression and you're eating shit, you're not moving, maybe you should start there before you start popping pills.
Yeah, I mean, your gut, it's a lot, not all, for everything, but a lot of people's cravings come from your gut bacteria.
Oh, 100%.
So if you think
because it's not you that's craving it. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not you. I can go into all kinds of crazy science about certain viruses and bacteria that infect certain animals and want to get into certain things and possess these animals' minds and take them. The aquatic worm and the cat. Oh, sure.
Ooh, that one's
so much crazy shit. They will infect certain. There's one where a parasite gets into a frog, and then it pulls the frog out of the water because that parasite is born in water but wants to feed on soil. So it'll just have the frog leave the fucking water looking for something and get fucked. The
brain control.
Toxoplasma, parasitic worm that infects a cat that infects a rat's brain
to get into it.
To get sexually attracted to cat urine because it wants to feed in the gut. It's born in a rat and wants to feed on the bacteria of a cat's gut. So it tricks the rat into going near cat piss and getting eaten by the cat. So anyway, your gut bacteria is tricking you into eating snacks. So you need a little bit of fucking discipline.
Yeah. You gotta balance that shit out.
And balance that shit out. So when you're eating fruit and vegetables and yogurt and sauerkraut and kombucha and fermented foods
kimchi
and fresh fruits and vegetables and fermented foods, and more importantly, not eating junk, you're going to have happy gut bacteria and happy brain neurochemistry. It's a big deal. All right. So he's going to go with 2 cups of yogurt, 2 cups of granola for some crunchy crunch, a little bit of healthy fats, and a lot more carbs. And maybe a banana, because why the fuck not? Right? Because that's where your vitamins are at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some organ meats and fruits are where fucking vitamins are at. People think like green leafy vegetables. That's nice for fiber and volume. It has some stuff. But there's a nice balanced meal. So then lunchtime comes around, and Joey's got the old steak and rice, all right? About 8 ounces of steak, cup of rice, whole bunch of vegetables in there. So now we got prebiotics and probiotics going on. And his carb source, other than the rice, is going to be a nice sweet potato, all right? Meal 4 is going to be a quickie afternoon snack, which just so happens to be pre-workout meal. He's going to slam a protein shake because, as you can see, every meal has proteins, carbs, and fats. He's going to slam a protein shake and a triple-decker peanut butter and jelly sandwich. All right, you could go gluten-free bread and almond butter if you want to get fancy. But the point being is, anybody can use this template, and we're doing bread, peanut butter and jelly. Another bread, more peanut butter and jelly.
It's great too, especially for people beginning, because like a lot of people, we talked about this last time, haven't cooked for themselves, but everybody knows how to make a PB&J.
And this one, he's already cooked his breakfast, but meal prepped his lunch, meal prepped his dinner, right? But just running out the door, he's going to grab his water bottle, his yogurt and his granola, and his peanut butter and jelly and his protein shake. So he just throws that in a bag.
Yeah, that's easy.
Boom. Now we're on the road again. All right. So scoop of protein powder, peanut butter and jelly, proteins, carbs, and fats. That's a pre-workout meal, but he's got 2 hours to digest before he hits the gym. Yeah. Then he fucking crushes shit in the gym. Meal 5 is going to be dinner, which is also post-workout meal. We're going to go with a little bit less fat because we got plenty of fats earlier in the day, and we want a little bit quicker digestion, easier on the digestion as a post-workout meal. So we're going with chicken. 8-ounce chicken, 2 ounces of cheese, another cup of rice, because, by the way, with Maria, when she was cutting, we were cutting down the rice a little bit because it was a little excessive. For Joey that's bulking, we're bumping up the rice because it's easy to digest, and it's a beautiful, clean carb. Yeah. And then he gets in a little bit more vegetables. So he's got whole protein sources with pretty much every meal. He's got vegetables with 2 or 3 meals, getting the fiber and the vitamins and whatnot. He's got rice with 2 meals, potato with 1 meal, oatmeal with 1 meal. So the point being is protein sources, fat sources, and carb sources are diverse for not only the taste buds, but the gut bacteria, and making sure we're not getting any food allergies by eating the same goddamn thing every day. Yeah. Because if you're going to eat the same thing 6 days in a row or 90 days in a row, más o menos cheat meals and stuff, you want to have that nice rotation, especially of your proteins, but even your vegetables and stuff like that. So that's a chicken and rice meal with some vegetables. Now, If you can only eat like the 3,000 or the 3,500 to get to the 4,000, you may need meal 6. Little guys and little girls, this is where you're at if you want to get bigger, is you eat as much as you can in your 4 meals, 5 meals, or 3 big meals, 2 snacks, whatever you want to call it. And then meal 6, right before bed, we do a beautiful protein shake. We take a blender. We go scoop of protein powder, bunch of frozen berries, a banana, peanut butter or almond butter, and then, you know, I would go coconut milk just because you get carbs and fat and it's fucking delicious.
Yeah.
But that's where you can play with the calories as far as almond milk, whole milk if you digest dairy, blah, blah, blah. But basically we got milk, peanut butter, banana, berries, protein powder. So once again, proteins, carbs, and fats. But that's a high calorie, now liquid meal that you're just getting in before bed that's going to digest nice and slow, but get in your belly pretty quick and easy.
Yeah, so it's an easy kind of ace in the hole. You know, if you can't get it in, that's
Love it.
a lot easier to drink that. If you're beat at the end of the day, you can't get any more food in, and chicken and rice is just not on the table or not in the cards.
Yep. Because here's the thing: if you can eat to maintenance, then slam a shake. That's your surplus.
That's your surplus, yeah.
Even if that shake's only 500 calories, which is
and
kind
you
of
notice
easy.
this shake is all actual foods blended up. It's not a gainer shake with
and then
fake
once
carbs,
again,
fake
even
proteins.
if you wanted to go super crazy, he could go plain Greek yogurt instead of the protein powder,
Yeah, exactly.
and still go berries, peanut butter, coconut
The shakes are
milk.
really versatile, so it's not like you're locked into anything.
Nah,
you can be real creative.
This whole template is pretty versatile,
Yeah.
because you just rotate your
Substitute
vegetables.
carbs, substitute
I mean, white
meats.
rice is what it is, but you
Yeah.
substitute your fucking carbs, you substitute your vegetables, and you substitute your protein sources.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom. All right? So proteins, carbs, and fats with every meal. It ends up being on or about 4,000 calories, where he was eating like 2,000. We got him up to 3,000. We pushed him to 3,500 with more carbs. We're not going to go more than 4,000 before our first reflection period. 170 protein, which is our 1 gram per pound of body weight per day. 120 grams of fat per day. You think that's a little high, but we need it because we're doing a lot of things here. And then carbs are going to get pumped up to almost 500 grams a day when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
So fucking...
I mean, like, you know, just to touch on like the low, not the low, but the moderate protein and the moderate fat is both those things increase satiety. So,
so you just want bare minimum.
We're trying to get in food, so we don't want to be full. You know, we want to, versus if you're trying to lose weight, that's why we get some nice healthy fats higher up on the protein relative, so we can stay fuller longer. And you're not, you know,
that's
going
a big
crazy.
point,
You know,
because we've seen little guys thinking they got to eat dry chicken and broccoli because they think it's healthy or they think it's bodybuilder shit or protein. No, you need enough protein. Probably pump up your fats a wee bit, but not so much that you're full, and then jam those carbs to the moon.
Yeah,
carbs to the moon. And you know, if you don't want to fucking bog yourself down with bread and pasta and sugary junk, that's where the fucking rice and potatoes comes in. Rice digests so is rice easy to eat for you?
I love rice,
bro. Rice
and
is not only easy
jasmine
to get in.
rice, you got your aromatic rices, you got your just regular long green rice.
You're going to go into a Bubba Gump fucking rant.
Pineapple rice, shrimp rice.
Dude, fried rice.
And it's also
rice.
super versatile, so you can prepare it in much different ways. Dude, easy to prep.
Easy to prep. You can prep it ahead. Versatile, healthy, cheap as fuck.
Cheap as fuck. So if you know,
cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
And goes in easy, comes out easy. That's the key, especially for bulking. Because, yes, total calories is the only thing that matters. But if you fucking stuff yourself on meal 1 and you're dragging ass by lunch and you're shitting your pants by workout...
That ain't no good.
ain't no good.
Ain't no good.
Ain't gonna get nowhere. So, that's it. Fucking Joey Cannoli, man. He's got push-pull legs. He's hitting every muscle twice in 8 days and resting twice in 8 days. So it's a good mixture of frequency to recovery ratio. He's got a nice low rep range to mid rep range to high rep range on every single muscle group. He's figuring out what he's eating, and then we're pumping up the carbs, and then we're substituting all the junk for whole foods. And like I said, he cooks the breakfast at home while he throws the snacks in a bag. And on Sunday, he's already prepped the steak and chicken lunch and dinner for the week. Blender at the end of the day if you need it.
Prep's going to be really important for this because there's just more food. So that's just where, again, if you know, prepare or fail to prepare to fail, you know?
That's literally it. And that's all we're telling you with this whole show is to fucking realize that there's more layers than the superficial shit that you see.
Yeah.
And you have to make a plan, prepare ahead, and then execute. Because if you don't have a plan, how do you stick to the fucking plan?
And then doing it live is exhausting.
Dude.
Like making shit up on the fly is tiring. Mentally
If you
and
gotta
physically.
think about food.
That's energy wasted.
Buy food, prep food, cook food, clean dishes, then eat for fucking 6 meals a day.
Good luck.
Good luck,
Good
homie.
luck.
But if you cook 3 times 6 or 3 times 5, or here, let's talk meal prep. Some people do it. I think there's 3 different ways. Tell me if you know another way. Sunday for 5 or 6 days, so the 1 day prep. Let's call it Sunday and Wednesday or something like that. The 2 day, every 3rd day prep twice a week because people like fresher stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
And then there's I have a little bit more time in the morning, so as I make breakfast, I also make lunch and dinner.
I do like a half and half of that. So there's some meals I like fresher, so I do prep in the morning. Those are the easier ones to prep.
Makes sense.
There's some stuff that's like rice. I mean, I could do rice in the morning with like a rice cooker, but I like to prep that out ahead of time. It's just way easier.
Yeah.
Why not? You know.
Yeah.
You got the contain. Like it doesn't taste that much worse. Like, there's some things that taste worse.
Great point.
You know.
Great point. Like you might not want to go chicken or fish on the 6th or 7th day,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you can certainly go 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And I go 5 all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Sunday for the week guy, just because I'm so busy. And that's the thing. You can't say I'm too busy, or you can't say I don't have time. Because your man Lao Tzu said, saying you don't have time is just saying you don't want to. Because if you really want to, I have 24 hours in my day. I don't know how many you have.
Yeah.
So that's just a matter of time management and setting your priority.
Yeah.
And that's it. All right? So plan and execute. Plan ahead. Stick to the goddamn plan. And love yourself. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
That's bridge.